Tonight's broadcast is brought to you by Northeast Ohio High School Football Rivalries. The latest book from veteran author Vince McKee takes you behind the scenes of some of the biggest moments in Ohio high school football history. McKee has every big rivalry covered, from the Holy War to the Silver Rail. You can find Northeast Ohio High School Football Rivalries anywhere books are sold or online at Amazon.com. Gable's Search Group. Founded in 2002, they help companies find candidates for most of their open positions nationwide. Gable's Search Group is a professional placement firm located in Willoughby and only 20 minutes from the heart of Cleveland, Ohio. They specialize in areas of accounting, finance, legal, sales and marketing, information technology, engineering, and a host of other personnel. Their company can place an individual on a permanent or temporary basis nationwide. You can find out more about them today by visiting www.gablesearch.com or calling 440-951-9990. Start your career today with Gable's Search Group. Airport Go-Kart. If you're looking for a fun time with your kids or friends, then head over to Airport Go-Kart at 16208 Brook Park Road in Cleveland. It's fun for everyone involved at a next to nothing price.
Welcome in. It's Friday Night Football here on Keon Sports, the Keon Sports Game of the Week, coming at you live from Vitamix Field at Charles Harding Memorial Stadium. I'm Cole McDaniel. Alongside me, Dom Clary, back again this week. Dom, good to have you back once again.
Yeah, I'm glad to be back. I took last week off, family wedding, action going on as well. But I'm glad to be back in one of our favorite locations in Olmsted Falls. I'm really excited. Taking on the Middies, a team I don't think I've seen play. Yeah, I don't think we covered them last year. But I'm excited to be back here in the booth with you, Cole.
Yeah, quite a big weekend. Obviously have this game tonight. For you yourself, Dom, heading out to Happy Valley tomorrow to cover Penn State as they host the Iowa Bobcats, if I'm not mistaken. And then obviously the start of the NFL season as well is this weekend. So what a big one for football. We have it at all levels, and I'm so excited for this game tonight. Also a shout out, the man to my left, Darian Jackson, joining again here this week. He'll be operating the camera, also joining me briefly at halftime for the halftime show. So again, happy to have Darian out here once again. So taking a look at this matchup, as it's finally the start of conference play here, Dom, and the SWC is absolutely loaded this year. You and I have covered many games. We've seen many different teams. Avon Lake looks legit. Of course, they're going up against a power in Avon, and Vince McKee finds himself up there covering that one tonight. We have Midview, who they won their first game. They've stumbled the last 2 weeks, looking to get back on track here on the road against the Olmsted Falls Bulldogs, who we've seen. So the whole SWC, very, very interesting. And like I said, we've got a good one as the Bulldogs come in to this game with a record of 2-1. And the Midview Middies here on the road with a record of 1-2. So starting this off with the home Bulldogs as they rush out onto the field here right now and break through the banner. Their last game here at home on this new beautiful turf field defeated Norwalk 49-6, an absolute rout. They're looking to do much of the same tonight as they face off against the Middies. So Dom, quickly, I'll talk to you about your thoughts and what we had seen from Olmsted Falls 2 weeks ago and what you expect tonight from them.
This is going to be a team where you know the motto is the same. They're going to run the ball. They're going to keep the ball in between the hashes, and they're going to use play action to move the ball down the field. What they do is not special. It's not fancy, but they execute it well. That's the type of thing that we're going to see today. And they drain their opponent. You know, we talked about earlier where usually their opponent will have a good first possession, and then Olmsted Falls will get a tough, gritty stop. And then next thing you know, they have a 10, 12 play drive where they run the ball 10 of those 11 times as well. This is a team that drains the life out of their opponents. If you're not well conditioned, you cannot compete. the Middies, they'll be put to the test here tonight.
For the Middies, I mentioned they come into this one with a record of 1-2, so a dominant 21-0 win over Rocky River in week 1. Then narrowly defeated in week 2, 35-27 by Strongsville, who we covered in week 1. And then they fell 35-14 versus Elyria last week. So like I said, looking for a bounce back, but this is a tough place to come. It has been a couple years since we've seen Midview get a win over Olmsted Falls. Their last win was in 2019. It was a close one, 28-21. They're going to hope for much of the same here, but 5 of the last 6 meetings have gone the way of the Bulldogs. Dom, before we get to kickoff here, something else to mention. I mentioned the beautiful turf field down there. Again, this used to be one of the almost few places, it felt like, in Northeast Ohio that still had the grass field. And, you know, with that physical running mentality, the way they play football here at Olmsted Falls. I know you, being a former football player, sometimes you come here and on a rainy night too, getting a little muddy in the middle of the field, you're like, oh, this is old school football. Things are going to change a little bit here on the turf, and you talked about it. When you walked in, you saw how smooth it was, and you expect that's going to help the speed of the Bulldogs.
Oh, absolutely. You know, I played, when I was in high school, we played on a team that had AstroTurf. I believe this is the turf that is used. Again, AstroTurf isn't what you used to, where it's that carpet and the cement. It's not Three Rivers Stadium or the Vet. So, again, it's still that grass substance, but it's cut almost a little bit lower, right? Your cleat's getting a little bit less of that traction. You're going to float a little bit more. It's almost like running on a clean carpet there. A little bit more padding, but it's almost like running on a carpet rather than what BW has in a higher, more kind of mid-grass cut. Olmsted Falls is going to be able to run. This is to their advantage, right? This is a team that likes to move fast on offense despite, you know, you think that they have a slow-moving offense because they run a wing T. Not the case. A triple option likes to get out in space with their runners and move in every part of the field. This will help them in that aspect. No, when you have grass, right, and you were going against a team like Olmsted Falls, a team that liked running the ball, they would usually leave the grass high. They wouldn't cut it for a week. Now, we're not going to see that at all. I don't think Olmsted Falls ever did that, but that was an old trick that used to be used when teams that would use turf would come and play a team with grass.
So something else that's interesting and of note, when you see Olmsted Falls or Midview go to kick a field goal or a PAT here in this one, you see the padding around the field goal is actually the Cleveland Browns colors there. So what that is, it has to do with the grant that had to do with the Cleveland Browns. So really a major grant from the Cleveland Browns and NFL Foundation's grassroots field grant program, plus some private donors, made this turf possible with the funding there. Again, really an $800,000 project to get in the turf and do that here this summer. So again, because of the Browns' involvement, again, you see the padding there on the field goal uprights there. So pretty cool to see that a little bit here. They see the involvement of the Browns, who just in Berea, a town away, and what they've done here for this community.
It's nice to see an NFL team give back to one of their local schools.
Right.
Sometimes you don't see that when you're outside of the community, but when you get to visit it and kind of experience it yourself, it's really special to see. Cool.
Okay, and we're about to get the kickoff here in just a moment and talking about a couple of big players for both of these teams. We're going to get to that here in just a moment, but the Bulldogs will be initially kicking it off from left to right on your screen. Again, if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe to the Keon Sports YouTube channel and share the link as well. Kick is up and away. Fielded at the 5. Crucera, a little bit of room, and gets out past the 20-yard line and taken down at the 23, and that is where the Middies start their first drive, and quarterback Mark Reed, the senior, coming out to lead his group. And he's really a guy to watch out for, and he's got a couple of receivers as well that he's going to be targeting. But Reed, a fairly tall quarterback, long. I wouldn't be surprised to see him use his legs as well in this one. 4 wide receivers, empty backfield. Reed claps his hands, takes the snap, toss out to the near side. Completion, a little bit of a move to get some extra yards, and that one was caught by Tyler Reeser and sets up now a second down for Midview. And officially a 2nd and 1. That extra move to get about 2 more yards at the end makes it very manageable here for the Middies.
Nice little curl route. Nothing fancy there, but when executed well, it's a good 9 to 10 yards there.
Reed hands this one off. Kusira gets out past the 35-yard line, and that's where he's taken down. Move the chains. Good start to the first drive for Midview. So, Dom, taking a look at a couple of those big names. We already mentioned Reed. You've seen Kusira get a carry there. Also watch out for number 9, Dane West, the junior receiver. Number 1, Anthony DeFranco, the senior receiver. And also running back number 32, James Ansel, also a senior. So a lot of seniors on that offense. Here's the snap. Reed looking for room up the middle. Nothing there, and swallowed up quickly.
That was a QB take there. Running back went out the block there on the left. So that was just straight release. Went to go fake, which I don't know why you'd run those back-to-back, where you have that wide receiver coming across in the motion. You already gave it to him. You're not going to give it to him twice. Quarterback takes it. Wasn't able to get many yardage there.
4 wide, tight end on the right-hand side of the line. Reed, quick throw into the flats out to the far side, and he finds Kusira, and he is taken down behind the line of scrimmage, and that front 7 of the Bulldogs quickly swarming and getting to that one.
Was that a bubble screen?
It is.
I don't. You know how I feel about bubble screens, Cole. Ugh, my least favorite play.
That's the lineman in you, Dom.
Let your lineman block for you, man. Do a jailbreak screen. Don't do those little bubble screens. There's no one out there to block.
3rd and 11 from the 35. Reed back to pass. Looking to the outside and just a little bit high and wide. Incomplete. And 4th down forced by the Bulldogs. And after giving up 1 first down, that is a big win. And the special teams unit going to have to come out and punt this one away.
Yeah, negative. One play didn't really gain much in a negative play. 3rd and long. Not going to do it there. That's just a tough position to put yourself in there if you're the Middies. They need to bounce back big here in defense, and that's not an easy thing to do here against the Bulldogs.
So just about 2.5 minutes taken off the clock. This one a short kick. Going to take a hop in the direction of Conti, and Conti's going to let it roll, and it stopped at the 29-yard line. Now, taking a look at this very explosive Bulldogs offense, and you talked about the wing T, that triple option that they run. James Rosel, the sophomore quarterback, will be under center. Jack Pinchek was very impressive in week 2 when we saw him play live at his fullback position, as well as had a huge return on special teams, so watch out for Pinchek. And then you can't forget Rocco Conti and Michael Candow, those wing backs who are going to touch the football a lot today. Rosel under center. Going to throw on that initial play, and a one-handed grab by Candow. Candow makes a man miss to the 50, past the 40, slips past the tackler, and taken down nearly to the 20-yard line. What a huge play, and Rosel put it up there in the direction of Candow, and looked like it was going to be a little high, and Candow just got his paw up there, and what an excellent one-handed grab, and thought he maybe could take that all the way. Midview had to really hustle to get to him, and one play and all the way down to the 22-yard line for the Bulldogs.
What an athletic play there. He's so shifty. He's really a big part there, that 3-headed monster they have there in the backfield.
We'll see if they go to the run. Candow in motion. Instead of handoff to Conti, Conti slips past a tackler, tries to break another one, and gets to the 15-yard line. Excellent gain of 7 yards. 2nd and 3 now.
That big play early. Now, I'm seeing they're just going to run the ball right down the middle there. I mean, that is in their DNA.
2nd and short. Pinchek, his hand in the dirt. Dom's calling that run up the middle. And it's going to be a run up the middle. Pinchek gets that carry, and he gets out past the 10, taken down at the 9-yard line. Move the chains. And it is now a 1st and goal. And a reminder that this trip to the red zone is brought to you by Kelly McLean Achievement Center. Visit them online at kelly-mac.com. 1st and goal from the 9. Candow in motion. The keeper, Rosel keeps it. He pitches it late. Candow, another one-handed grab That one was low and behind him. A late decision by Rosel, and Candow reached down, snagged that with his right hand, scooped it up. Nobody there in the left-hand corner, and put 6 on the board for the Bulldogs early.
You know, I'm going to praise them for that. They could have been 2 disastrous plays if they weren't for Candow. You know, right here under his name I have Shifty, and he proved it there. But not just that, I might have to put another note in there. He has hands. I mean, that kid can catch. I mean, one was way over his head, one was way behind him. He just seems to just be able to do it all there. But once he gets the ball, boom, he's off. You cannot touch Candow's speed here today.
And after that touchdown, the attempted PAT by Noah Minadeo, just a little bit wide right, and it remains 6-0 in favor of the Bulldogs on the scoreboard. And Dom, in week 2, we saw Minadeo miss a couple kicks. A field goal came up short, missed a few PATs, leaving points on the board, which is unfortunate for the Bulldogs, unfortunate for the senior kicker.
Yeah, when you're a kicker, it is really easy to get in your own head. You can have all the intangibles, but you miss one kick, and you can struggle for the rest of the season. But sometimes it just takes one good game to get back to yourself. It's almost like a good three-point shooter, right? Sometimes you just need to see one go in sometimes. A nice long 3 going in, nice long field goal. I think that's just what he needs right now to get back into his groove.
So after that touchdown, the Bulldogs about to kick this one away, again courtesy of Minadeo. 3 back deep to return for the Middies. Again, you're watching and listening live on Keon Sports on YouTube. And this one off of the hands into the end zone. And fortunate there, nearly a big mistake there from Ethan Vitale, the senior. And again, fortunate for him that, like I said, it slipped through his fingertips, went into the end zone instead of going out the side. Or just sitting there, and the Bulldogs able to get to that football. So a touchback, and Midview comes onto the field. Had a good first couple of plays in their first drive. Things stalled out as soon as they got a first down, though, Dom.
Yeah, I like that outside zone play that they ran there. I'd like to see a little bit more of that. Use your running back, trust him a little bit. You got a tight end there too.
Reed takes a snap, hands this one off. Not much room there for Mason Kusira. Loss of 1 there, so now 2nd 11 from the 19.
Yeah, on the first play, you want to get 2 to 3 yards. See a little bit of movement, and you can open up your playbook a little bit more. This closes that playbook just a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Now you need to get half back, right? You want to get a 3rd and 6 here. See if they can do it, but it's not easy against the Bulldogs.
4 wide, Reed rolling out to the near side of the field and had a lot of pressure in his face, had to release that one quickly, and Kusira turned the other direction, and that one was behind him. And Reed honestly just a good job of throwing that one to where only his receiver could get to it. Maybe a little bit of miscommunication, but you'd rather be able to take the incompletion rather than the sack there with the pressure in his face.
Yeah, the communication wasn't on the same page there.
4 wide again for Reed, alone in the backfield. Pressure from behind, he gets hit as he throws the ball, and that one's going to sail long, land on the Bulldogs logo in the center of the field. The incompletion results in a 4th down, and they're going to have to punt this one away from their own 19-yard line. Just over 7 minutes left to go in the first quarter from Olmsted Falls.
You know, I like what Olmsted Falls does. They send a lot of people on defense. They make you guess. If you're an offensive line that struggles with pressure, you're not going to have a good day against the Bulldogs.
This punt hanging high. Pinchek fields it about the 47-yard line and stumbles over the heels of his own blocker there. It was Derek Nakar, the junior fullback. And Pinchek, like I said, just got tripped up there, but not bad field position. You can't complain with always starting with the football on the other side of the field. And this is where the offense returns. It only took them a couple plays. That was it to find the end zone on the last drive.
You know, I'd like to see a fullback dive to start. Right, I'm usually wrong with prediction. I was right last possession. That was the first time. I'd like to see a fullback dive. Very next play action deep. I would love that.
Very tight set here. Candow in motion. Handoff to Conti. Conti, not much room to run, and swallowed up there by number 58, Austin Dye.
I was close. I was close there in my prediction. But nonetheless, does the same job. Little play action here. Take a nice little shot deep. Wouldn't mind that. But, again, this is a team where they don't want to put themselves in the 3rd and long, so they'll probably run and then a nice little pass play. Let's see. I'd like to see them take a shot here.
Russell under center, the pitch to Candow. Candow's got plenty of room to run. Cuts inside, past the first down marker, out to the 35-yard line. So that 8-yard run, getting the first down, really signifies how big of a first quarter it's already been for Michael Candow. A lot of times we're talking about Rocco Conti leading the team in yardage. Candow already making a big impact. I'm sure we'll see both of them get touches, but Candow just as explosive on the other side. Here's Conti in motion. Conti gets the pitch. Candow out blocking in front of him. Conti slips past the tackler and just needed one play to pick up 10 more yards, move the chains once again.
You know, this is a team where, usually when you face a team, it's we need to stop the running back. Who do you like key on here? Like who do you when you go to your scout team, what jerseys do you give out? Do you just give out the entire offense for Olmsted Falls and say we need you just to mimic everybody on this team? It's just this team can't be easy to scout, Cole. I mean, so many options everywhere.
And we'll see which one of the options gets the ball here. Rosso, a keeper. He pitches it to Candow. Candow's got space. 1v1 in the open field. Stiff arm and gets a couple extra yards up to about the 10-yard line. Move the chains once again. And I would think, and they're actually going to spot the ball right on the 10-yard line, so that actually is going to set up a 1st and goal from the 10.
Well, the game plan today must have been Michael Candow. You're our guy today. They're really feeding him early here. They must really like seeing him on that pitch option there, getting him out in space. No one but him and a cornerback.
Conti gets the ball, trying to get around the edge. Forced out at about the 3-yard line, so a nice gain of 7 there on this red zone trip. And a reminder that this trip to the red zone is brought to you by Kelly McLean Achievement Center. Visit them online at kelly-mac.com.
That was a mean stiff arm there by Rocco. That is a grown man stiff arm going right to a face mask. Ooh, you're going to have to put some ice on your neck getting one of those from Rocco Conti. He is strong. He is fast. And this is prime spot here for him. They love giving him the ball in short goal line situations.
Give it to Conti once again, and Conti finds the end zone, puts 6 more up on the board for the Bulldogs, and barely touched and just walked that one into the end zone.
He walked right in. He didn't walk, he waltzed into the end zone there. He knew he had that one as soon as he got the ball.
That he did. And nothing like rewarding the senior after a massive play with the big stiff arm the play before. 3 yards out, give him the football. He's going to find pay dirt. And now an opportunity for Minadeo to redeem himself, get the PAT here. And that one is up and good. 13-0 now in favor of the Bulldogs. So, Dom, a really good start here for Olmsted Falls. Ideally what they wanted here, and we talked about, again, the speed we expected to see in this game, and an open field, again, just that running ability that they have, and they're looking fast here on this turf, just like we talked about.
And just a little bit, Cole, just a little quick. Candow, he is on a different level with his speed right now. As soon as he gets the ball, Candow is just going off. And Rocco Conti, he always looks quick. Let's be real here. But it's just, I don't know, just the speed for the middies right now isn't on par. You get a quick touchdown here, that'd be nice. The question is, can he get a stop? That's the real question. But right now, the question is, can we score? And can we do it efficiently?
Yeah, and the thing is, and also touching on Conti, I've called many of his games since his sophomore year even. There's been quite a handful of games where I've gotten to see him play, and you saw the speed and the quickness and the ability his sophomore year, but he just got stronger and stronger as his career's gone. It just adds a whole nother element. You saw it on that last drive with that massive stiff arm in the play at the end. Here's the kick, fielded, a little bit of room to run, up past the 30 to the 35-yard line, and Dane West is taken down there, and that is where Mark Reed and the Middies offense returns once again. So, Dom, you're down 13-0 if you're the Middies. Haven't been able to really get much of anything going since you got one first down on the first drive. Is there anything you can do to mitigate what the Bulldogs are doing on offense and really start moving the football?
You know, if you're the coaching staff, trust the script that you made. You made a script that you believe would work against this team. Trust it. Don't go away from it. Believe in what your team can do. You know your team's abilities. Trust that now.
Reed takes a snap. Screen out to the far side. Plenty of room to run. Out past the first down marker, past the 50, and stepping out at the 46-yard lines on the Bulldogs side of the field. And that was a great play there on the far side by number 9, Dane West. So
I'm going to go back to that play in a second here because I saw something I really like, but we'll see this play happen.
And that's exactly what they needed. Now, this isn't what the Middies needed, is there's a penalty flag on the field. Going to back up the offense there. So right after a big play, shot themselves in the foot a little bit, but Dom, now it gives you an opportunity to go back to that play you liked.
The right tackle, I can't find his number. I don't know if it's 64 or 54. Oh, did you see that block? As a tackle myself, my favorite screens where I can go and chase a corner and run him into the sideline. Oh, big block there. Run to his side.
Trips left, looking left. Had to make the jump and hauled that one in. Kusira, a nice grab there, just back to the original line of scrimmage. Clock continuing to tick down here in the first quarter. Just over 3.5 minutes left to go here in the quarter. Ball on the 46-yard line. 2nd and 10. Reed claps his hands, looking to his right, finds Kusira. Not much room to run after catching that pass. Maybe a gain of 2 yards there. Going to be a 3rd and long for the Middies.
You know, I think you needed to see that play go out a little bit more. I like what they're doing here, though. A lot of quick action here with passing. You know, I really do like the rollouts. The offensive line did a very good job maintaining the line of scrimmage. Didn't get them where they wanted to go, but still, there's progress from the last possession.
Reed, a quick strike and blown up there. Huge tackle. A hit by number 7, Tyler Jositti, the senior defensive back. We saw him come up with a big interception at Brunswick and making a nice stop there, forcing 4th and 2 now for the Middies. Offense staying out on the field as this is no man's land for the Middies. Looks like they want to go for it.
A little confusion here.
Yeah, late substitution, getting a man out on the field. But Reed's actually back pretty far, so I think he's going to punt this one. Just putting it down inside the 10, and that one's going to just roll into the end zone and be a touchback. So, you know, that is one of those things you see in high school sometimes. You'll have offensive players out there, what looks like the offense, but again, that quarterback trying to little pooch punt, not able to get the read there, the roll there for Reed actually, and like I said, not able to pin the Bulldogs like they wanted. Don't really see much of that in in college. Don't think you'll see a quarterback punting the ball tomorrow when you're out in Happy Valley.
No, I don't think so. You know who used to do that a lot in the NFL? Ben Roethlisberger. They used to do that a lot when he was younger. I mean, last year he wasn't doing that. He barely wanted to move out of the pocket. But, you know, we used to see that at the NFL. Right? Doug Flutie did a rugby drop kick the one year. Played for the Patriots.
Russell under center. The keeper couldn't pitch that one away, as that one was read well by number 1, Anthony DeFranco, as he went out to Candow, really stopped that pitch, and not much room to run there for the quarterback. Still picked up 3 yards, 2nd and 7 now on the 23. I think that's what you have to do, Dom. If you're the DB, you've really got to crash down, take away those wing backs that are coming to the far side of the field and are getting those pitches. Back to pass, rolling to his right, delivering a strike to Conti, fit into a tight window. Conti holds on through the contact, move the chains once again for the Bulldogs.
The one thing I'll never understand is when teams run a zone against Olmsted Falls, I don't know why you just don't man up. When they have all those wide receivers out there, why not man up? And because they run that flood combination there. If you run man, that's the best way to solve that problem. They had one person guarding 3 people.
Pincheck with his hand in the turf. This one going to be thrown out in the flats to Conti. Conti trying to make a man miss, get some extra yardage. Caught that one about a yard behind the sticks, and then able to get forward for about 4 yards. That should set up a 2nd and 7. Ball on the 35-yard line. So with 20 seconds left here in the quarter, don't think the Bulldogs will run another play, but they are coming back to the line of scrimmage.
They have to here, Cole.
And that they are, yep, good call. Play clock down to 7 seconds. Here's the pitch to Conti. Conti bursting through the hole. He hit the open field to the 40, to the 30. He is going to be gone. Take this to the house. Rocco Conti, touchdown number 2. Last play of the first quarter. And a touchdown for the Bulldogs. Great blocking out in front of him. And an excellent vision by the senior. Now 19-0 on the scoreboard, awaiting the PAT. Wow. What a way to finish the quarter, Dom.
Found a hole, broke a few tackles, off to the races. We've seen that time and time again for him. There's just nothing you can do against the kid. He is a man amongst everybody else. He's just unstoppable, Cole. I don't know any other way to put it here.
Here is that kick from Minadeo. It's up and good. And we end the first quarter with a score of 20-0. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be back for the start of the second quarter.
Tonight's broadcast is brought to you by All-in-One Services. Mike Zeck brings 37 years of experience with him to every job. Doesn't matter how big or small, Mike Zeck with All-in-One Services is the man to get it done. He can be reached at 919-909-7779 or online at allinoneservices.net. You can also email him pictures of the job needed to mzek@allinoneservices.net. B.A. Sweetie Candy Company. The world's most famous candy company is right here in our backyard. They are located at 6770 Brook Park Road in Cleveland, and it is a candy lover's paradise. They have every candy from your childhood, so make sure to visit them today.
And we are back for the start of the second quarter. And the Bulldogs will be kicking this away from right to left on your screen. Again, make sure to subscribe to the Keon Sports YouTube channel. Help us continue to grow as we continue to do more and more with high school football coverage, in addition to our Keon Sports Game of the Week on YouTube. Again, 20-plus games we cover on KeonSports.com, so make sure to go check that out. Here's a return. Kusira has some room to run. One tackler to beat, and he is taken down at about the 35-yard line, and that is where the Middies return on offense, down 20.
He was one move away from breaking that, Cole.
He really was. If he could have gone past that last tackler there and bounced it to the outside, he maybe could have gone the distance. It would have been a foot race to the end zone, but not too bad field position-wise for Midview. They pieced a couple good things together on the last drive. Just a matter of trying to get to the red zone, get to that final third of the field. Not much room to run there, though, for Mason Kucera on the far sideline. He's wrapped up and taken down behind the line of scrimmage. Second 11, ball on the 35-yard line. Again, Cole McDaniel here alongside me today. Dom Clary once again. Empty backfield for Reed. Looks to the far side, finds Kucera, his favorite target, out to the 40-yard line, just past it, and out of bounds. Makes it third and much more manageable than what it was, but still 6 yards to go.
They need to give him the ball in every way possible. He's just been that guy there for him. They do, from what it looks like they have a few really good options there, but he is the one that Reed loves to go to here early in the game.
Reed back to pass, looking for his intended receiver, and a strike right into the chest of Zach Gilchrist. Move the chains, ball on the 49-yard line.
Their passing attack is good, right? The problem is they're like losing yardage on run plays. You can't have that. You can't just have one without the other. Even the Bulldogs here, their passing game is usually effective and it complements the running game, even though they don't pass the ball tons.
4 wide receivers throw out to the far side and caught by Dane West. Had his foot wrapped up, tried to turn. Not able to get any extra yards after hauling that one in. Now a 2nd and 5, ball on the Bulldogs' 46-yard line.
And that's, Dane West is another guy that we both talked about early. He's a junior on a really senior-heavy team. And that's a player that we thought we were going to see a little bit more of. I think it's the first time you really said his name there. Try to see him a little bit more here. It's a good player for him.
Throw to Kucera. Little cut to the outside, maybe got him an extra yard there, but not much room to run. An excellent tackle on the boundary by Tyler Jozitti. Third and 3 now. Ball at the 44. So, Dom, when you think Bulldogs football for Olmsted Falls, a lot of times you're thinking about that wing T offense, but they have a physical defense, and they've been getting it done on 3rd down. Expect them to send some pressure here. They're showing pressure up the middle. Reed, pressure in his face. He gets that one away quickly. Kucera hauls it in past the sticks, but quickly thrown down. Wow, that defense just moves quickly. I know they gave up the couple yards there, and it moves the chains again for a 1st down for the Middies, but that defense just flies all over the field, Dom.
Oh, absolutely. This is a hard-nosed team. I think this is the best way to explain them. When I think of, like, AFC North, like, football, that's how they play. That tough nose,
yeah.
One helmet or one logo on side of their helmet.
Here's a throw deep, just a little bit past the intended wide receiver on the far side of the field, looking in the direction of number 39, Tyler Reeser. 2nd and 10, ball still going to be on the 40-yard line.
No, but it's just one of those teams where they're gritty. They like to keep the ball on the ground. They like to control the clock. They like blitzing a lot, which is a trait of AFC North teams like to do. It's just they always have a strong front, good linebackers, and that's what you see a lot in the AFC North. I know I'm getting a little off here, but they're just gritty, Cole. They just have that grit that not too many teams have.
Reed throws it out to the far sideline, and that one dropped by Tommy Kmitt. I'm sure he's going to want that one back. Now a 3rd and 10. It's so funny, Don, that you're bringing up the AFC North, because it definitely resembles that with a physical, fast-moving defense, hard-hitting. I only know of one team, though, with a logo on one side of their helmet in the AFC North, and of course I'm sitting next to the Pittsburgh Steelers fan. But moving on and back to the game here, Reed throws it into a tight window and a beautiful throw over the middle of the field. Mason Kusira hauls that one in and moves the chains once again, and the Middies getting something rolling here. 8 minutes remaining in the second quarter.
Yeah, that passing attack is good for them. They kind of use those screens to replace a run attack. They feel like they're not confident there. So what they do is, hey, let's give a ball to our wide receiver. We don't really want him in the backfield. Let's give him a head start with a little bit of a run and give him the ball. You saw that a lot there in the early 2010s in all levels. Now it's mainly here in high school where that's used.
Reed back to pass. Throws that one quickly out to the far side of the field, and that one's going to be incomplete. He was trying to get that one out of his hands so fast that his intended target, Chris Muscutta, didn't have time to look back and see that ball coming in cleanly. It was hitting his hands as soon as he turned his head. Defender was right on him. And after that completion, it will be 2nd and 10 from the 16. Here's a handoff and blown up in the backfield, and the ball's on the ground. And it looks like the Middies fell on it in an excellent heads-up play there by Colin Thompson, the offensive lineman. But as soon as the running back, James Ansel, touched the football, looked like a linebacker shot through the middle and blew him up in the backfield. Middies very fortunate they dove on that ball at the 20-yard line.
That could have been bad. You have movement going here on offense. You just can't give the ball up that easy when you're in the red zone. They're lucky to have the ball back, but 3rd and long situation here.
Trips right. Reed looking to the right. Kusira has 2, 3 blue jerseys on him right away. Not much room there, and throwing it into the flats, and nobody's there to block for you. That play was kind of dead as soon as it started. It felt like, Dom, not much room, and especially against a tough defense like this. So now a tough 4th and 14 from the 20-yard line. Offense staying out on the field. Got a long ways to go here. 4 wide receivers. Reed looking down the field, and that one nearly intercepted, but it's not going to matter as that was out of the hands of the diving Tyler Josetti. And as that falls incomplete, turnover on downs, and the Bulldogs take over from their own 20.
I say this every week, but I love the bend but don't break attitude of defenses, and the Olmsted Falls Bulldogs do exactly that. They will bend all the way back to their own goal line. But they don't break. They fight back. We saw goal line stop, I think, 2 during week 2 when we saw them play at Brunswick. This is a team that refuses to break on defense. Give us everything you have. We're going to fight back. That's the attitude of this team. I love watching this defense play. No matter what happens, they continue to blitz, they continue being aggressive, and they just don't make it easy on teams. Basically what they do is you're going to make a mistake before we do. That's how this defense continues to succeed as the season goes on.
Yeah, and one of those things for us on the broadcast side of things, we're talking about the offense so much, and we're talking about the talented players over there. Obviously there are a couple guys who translate and play both ways as well. But when it comes to that defense, that front 7 deserves so much credit for the Bulldogs. We've seen it in past years. We're seeing it this year as well. They're so physical. They're so good up front. They're not afraid to send the pressure. There's a lot of talent there on that defensive side. And to every one of those guys, again, a huge shout out for what they do. They're a huge integral part of this team. Here's a handoff to Conti. Conti, a little bit of a hurdle there. And just a little bit of room there, not much yardage, but picks up 3, gets up to the 23-yard line. That one you saw a little bit more of a conventional power eye there as the fullback, Derek Nakar, in there. Again, you see him a lot at inside linebacker, and occasionally he will check in. Going to go over to the sideline, checking out once again, and I think you'll probably see Pincheck back at fullback again.
Cole, who ran that there?
I believe that it looked like it was Conti who took the football.
Yeah, sometimes the 4 and the 44 get mixed, or the 24 get mixed up in my mind.
Russell back to pass, a little bit of pressure in his face, off of his back foot. He is able to find Conti, and Conti gets out just a little bit past the 25, spot him at the 26-yard line. 5 minutes remaining in the second quarter. Bulldogs still up 20-0.
That's what we call a jailbreak screen. You have your wide receiver kind of run towards the line, and then you have a free release for your offensive line. Usually the first three towards that side, so tackle, guard, center, and usually the backside will stay. Kind of depends what you want here. You don't want to leave your quarterback stranded. Nice little screen. There's an alley there, and you want to follow that alley all the way up to the end zone. Wasn't able to do it there.
So 3rd and short. Pincheck gets the handoff, finds some space, and gets tripped up down at the 35-yard line. First down, Bulldogs. Some of those big gaping holes for these guys carrying the football, Dom. We talked about your offensive lineman experience, and I know that's something you get excited about when you see those big holes opening up and the running backs having room to carry the football.
There's nothing better than seeing a perfectly executed, simple zone, gap, power, run play, whatever it may be. There's nothing more beautiful in the game of football.
Conti gets the handoff. He's got room to run if he could get to the outside. Little stiff arm there. Gets some extra yards and out of bounds past the 50-yard line up to the 47. First down for the Bulldogs into Middies territory once again.
It was exactly what I was talking about there. Just a perfectly executed run blocking. Rocco Conti didn't have to do much there. He was already in the second level thanks to that offensive line. You know, we talk about him a lot. He does a lot. Candow does a lot. Pincheck does a lot, right? Even Rozo. They're all fantastic. That offensive line does a lot for them. There's a lot of plays where they're not touched until they're in the second level, and that's because of that offensive line executing and working on their double teams, moving up to the linebackers.
Pitch to Candow. Candow, near side of the field, a spin move past the 40, down at the 39-yard line. Candow has been very dangerous on that pitch when he's going to the left-hand side. Again, it was going away from us towards the far side of the field in the first quarter. Now we're going to see it coming towards us here in the second quarter. 2nd and 3, ball on the 40. We'll see if they go to Candow again or decide to go up the middle. Instead, back to pass. Russell looking down the field. He's got a man, and it is Candow. He connects with him at the 20-yard line, up past the 15, dragged down at the 10, inside the red zone. 1st and goal.
I could be wrong there. Were there only 2 people running a route?
Yeah, only 2.
Yeah, there may have been Pincheck may have released there as the fullback, but there were only 2 realistic options there, and Candow was wide open, was able to make a play. I mean, that's good for about 31 yards, Cole. This might be the most efficient we've ever seen this team play.
Yeah.
Together. I mean, I've seen them play well in the playoffs, but we weren't together.
It's very efficient. Conti, not much room to run there, though, as he gets that handoff. Stopped right at the line of scrimmage, marked at the 9-yard line. That's where it will be 2nd and goal. Still plenty of time on the clock. Little under 3 minutes left to go here in the second quarter. Bulldogs looking to extend their lead. And Dom, some wrinkles we've seen in the offensive playbook from Coach Tom DeLuca. We've seen them go to the power I this drive. We've seen them have a pretty decent-sized throw down the field, things that you don't see too much here in this drive. But we'll see if they go back to their bread and butter right here. Keeper Russell into the end zone, touchdown. Bulldogs 26-0, pouring it on.
You know a play's good when I had no idea who scored until you said something. I thought the ball carrier was taken down 2 yards downfield. You agree too? I had no idea Roswell had the ball. I'm so confused if he even had it. I'm trusting you here. But it's one of those things, if I was the cameraman, which doing a great job on camera, I would have been on the other side of the field completely lost.
Yeah, and that's one of those where sometimes it can be tricky with the way that they play. You know, not only for us up here, for everybody watching the game, for the players down on the field as well, as you have to try to deal with that and figure out who actually has the football. PAT up and good by Minnedale, and that now makes the score 27-0. And so on that carry, though, I do have to give a lot of credit to James Rossell, the sophomore quarterback. And we talked about it in week 2 when we got to witness them at Brunswick. It was a matter of, could he step up, do what Charlie Ciolik was doing last year? Again, he was such a good decision maker. Ciolik was at quarterback, didn't turn the ball over too much, really made a lot of smart decisions, knew when to keep it, knew when to pitch it. He did a great job. We've seen a game and a half of Rossell at this point. Kid looks good, looks tough. As a sophomore, he's making the smart decisions. And that time there, he even fooled you and got to the outside, carried that one in, and it seemed like it fooled a lot of Midview players as well, as he wasn't touched until he got to about the 2-yard line. So great play by him. I've been impressed with the quarterback's play.
Oh, absolutely. You know, and last year we saw a quarterback that didn't make really bad choices, like you said, and he didn't turn the ball over too much. When he did, it was against like Avon. They would lose the game. And it was a team that didn't turn the ball ever at all.
Right.
And that's how they win games. So he's been efficient. I would like to see Roswell in a more closer game to see how he will do under pressure. And we'll see that this year against Avon or Avon Lake.
Here's the kick, and it's fielded at the 10-yard line. A little bit of room to run there for Dane West. Gets out past the 30-yard line. Spot him down at the 32-yard line. Thanks. And that is 1st and 10 again, where the Middies will come out back onto the field with 2 minutes left to go. So a 2-minute drill here for Midview, down 27-0. Looking to get points up on the board before you go into the locker room at halftime.
You got 2 minutes. Move quick. They have an empty backfield there.
Man in motion. Keeper for Reed. Reed got a couple yards before he hit a wall. And up to the 34. Middies right now taking their time. Clock continues to tick. 1 minute and 45 seconds remaining in the half. Four wide receivers. Running back in the backfield with Reed. Reed looking to the far side. That throw a little bit low and behind his intended target in the direction of Tyler Reeser. So Reed's really trying to get everything out quick.
He rushes a lot, Cole. He's not going through his progressions. And granted, some of these where he couldn't really, and we usually see that in high school where sometimes the quarterback does have to rush, but he just not letting the routes continue, not letting his linemen develop their blocks, kind of rushing it, hoping someone's there. We've seen that a little bit.
3rd and 8 from the 34. Reed back to pass. That time, little pump fake. Has some room and squeezes it in there, and a nice catch there. The jump and hauling that in, Mason Kusera. And Reed, good job there extending it with his legs and back across his body throwing that ball. And that was on the money, up past the 50-yard line into Bulldogs territory with a minute remaining here in the half.
That's a great connection between those two. Just so efficient when he's giving him the ball.
Trips left, Reed instead looking to the near side of the field. Launches that one a couple yards out of bounds. Tight coverage by Tyler Jositti. As Tyler Jositti was actually playing pretty tight coverage there on Tyler Reeser. So not much room there, even if Reed was able to put that one in bounds. As it falls incomplete, stops the clock. 2nd and 10. Ball on the 47. .50 seconds remaining. Empty set for Reed. Throws that one over the middle and directly into the hands of the linebacker. The interception to the 40-yard line and passed up to the 36. And that one was just in the direction of Preston Staley. Easy for the linebacker. Taking that one to the other side of the field. Penalty marker down as well, and we're awaiting the call. And so the penalty going to go against the Bulldogs. So that will move the football back 10 yards on the penalty. But now the Bulldogs, with 40 seconds remaining, have the ball at the 46-yard line on the Middies side of the field. They've got plenty of time to, if they want to keep the offense out there and moving that football, you know, rather than just taking a knee and go to the locker room. Again, they could look to put some more points up on the board. We'll see what they decide to do as they come out onto the field. Like I said, plenty of time with 40 seconds. Here's the snap. Back to pass. Looking down the field, he's got a man. And there's a big catch. Gavin Moore, the senior receiver, into the end zone, untouched. One play. That's all they needed right before half.
What do you say? I mean, this team is clicking in every way possible. There was not a Middies defensive back within a 10, 15-yard radius. I mean, just it seems like everything they do, the Middies just don't know how to predict it or figure out what's coming next. We're seeing a dominant team coming to form in SWC play, Cole.
So still 31 seconds remaining on the clock. This PAT by Minadeo up and splits the uprights. Now 34-0 Bulldogs. And if you're Midview, you're just hoping that you can take this kick return to the house so you can put 7 points up on the board, or else you could be buried deep into your own side of the field, not have much time left on the clock to get down the field and put some points up on the board. Mark Reed, though, coming back out, the senior quarterback, he's going to want that last throw he had back, redeem himself, because, again, that was directly into the hands of the linebackers. So we'll wait and see what the Middies do as they come back on the field. But, Tom, the Bulldogs look legit. You and I talked about it week 2. They're looking legit here tonight. They are clicking. They're on the same page. We've also talked about it. Avon Lake looked very good when we saw them earlier. We know Avon's very good. That top 3, honestly, of the conference again, who the teams that you expect to be battling it out come the end of the season, I don't know. It's splitting hairs at this point.
Yeah, I honestly don't know. Because the identities of these teams, I don't want to say are super similar, but there's comparisons.
Right.
All 3 of the teams, Avon Lake, and Olmsted Falls, have defenses that are just unbreakable. And when those 3 end up facing each other, it's almost hard to say what will even happen with those defenses and how those offenses will respond with how tough they are.
Yeah, and this one fielded, takes a short hop up at about the 20-yard line. Not much room to run there. Gets out to about the 25-yard line, and quite a few seconds ticked off the clock there, at 9 to be exact. So only 22 seconds on the clock. Would almost expect the Middies to just take this one to the locker room, talk things over, so they can come back out and be prepared for the second half.
You know, I've had the feeling of both sides. My junior year, one of the best teams in the state. We did this often where we'd go in the halftime and, hey, starters, take off your shoulder pads type of deal. Now, they don't have the mercy rule yet, but they're close to it.
Reed The throw to Kusira. Stays in bounds, gets out past the 30-yard line to the 31. And would think that's going to be the last play here of the half. As Reed's walking over to the side, and clock ticks down to 4, 3, 2, 1. And that will do it for the half. 34-0 as both teams go to the locker room. We're going to take a quick break here, and then Darian Jackson will be joining me for a quick halftime show. But Dom, before you and I both step away here for a few moments, your thoughts on that first half?
We saw a Olmsted Falls team that had four separate people score. So Rosal scored, then we had the combination of Kandau and Connie, and then we had the touchdown by Moore due to the pass of Rosal. This is a team where who do you stop and how do you stop them? And then you name one person. Well, what about them? What about Connie? What about Rosal? What about Pinchak? What about Kandau? What about Moore? You almost cannot fathom how many options they have. Now, for the Middies, this is a team where they're seeing small amounts of movement. They're able to move the ball, but not as effectively as they wish. Their defense is also struggling. They're not holding their assignments. When it comes to a pitch or even anything in this type of a wing tee offense, you need to hold your assignments. They're not holding their assignments. That's why big plays are happening. When there's a pass play, they're committed to the run, right? Which is good if there's a run happening. Frankly, there's no defensive backs there to stop the pass. Big pass plays are happening because of it. It seems like they're being fooled in every which way. This is a team that's really struggling and needs to turn it around if they even want to make it a game for the second half.
Yeah, so everybody watching and listening live on YouTube, again, thank you for tuning in. Make sure to subscribe to the Keon Sports YouTube channel. Make sure to also share this stream as well. Also, don't forget, tomorrow night, go to keonsports.com to check out all the articles. Myself, Dom, we're going to step away here for a couple of minutes. Don't go away. We'll be back with the halftime show in just a few moments. And welcome back for the halftime show here from Vitamix Field at Charles Harding Memorial Stadium, where the Olmsted Falls Bulldogs hold a 34-0 lead over the Midview Middies as they start SWC play. Cole McDaniel alongside me here now for halftime. Darian Jackson, again, a big shout out to him running the camera here tonight. Second week in a row. Darian, happy to be with you here again. And like I said, big shout out to you. You're doing a great job. We're enjoying having you as a part of our three-man crew. But again, going over this game, what we've been seeing here so far, you've had a little bit of a different spot, different seat here from what Dom's been watching. Yeah. I asked Dom his thoughts on the first half. What were you seeing out there?
Truthfully, this is turned into a one-sided game, especially with the Bulldogs being up 34-0 at halftime. So, and Midview has yet to find a way to stop them.
Yeah, and you've actually covered Midview a few times this year. First 2 weeks of the season, you were out there at their games, had the written articles put up on KeonSports.com. What are you seeing that's maybe different from them tonight? Have they changed anything in their scheme, or has it just been the Bulldogs overwhelmingly on defense that they've been able to shut down the offense of the Middies?
I think it's mainly the Bulldogs' defense. I mean, Midview has yet to be able to convert. A lot of the plays that I've seen them run before, they were able to convert once before. But with the Bulldogs right now, their defense is a little bit overwhelming for the Middies. They haven't been able to get anything, and even when they have gotten some looks, they haven't been able to convert on them. So, I mean, right now it's a lot of momentum on the Bulldogs side right now. And being up 34-0, I mean, you got to really find a way coming out of the half to adjust to the defense that the Bulldogs are playing.
Yeah, absolutely. And you got some stats in front of you as well, and one guy to point out, of course. As always, it feels like every game that I know myself, Dom, really anybody from Keon Sports is covering the Bulldogs. Rocco Conti's name is brought up. He's had a big night.
Oh, yeah, that man is ridiculous. They have yet to be able to stop him. He also has 112 yards with 2 touchdowns right now, and it's only the first half of the game. So,
yeah, impressive for him. As well as Michael Candow also having a big night. His stats on the night have been really just about as impressive as Conti's. He started things off before Conti really started touching the football.
Yeah, he started off real hot. He has a touchdown him as well with 118 yards. I mean, with the Bulldogs, they have 2 really great receivers right now, combining for over 200 yards. And you really don't know who to choose, who do you want to stop, because you could stop one and the other one is just going to go off. They could bench one and the other one's just going to go off. So, I mean, if the Middies cannot stop either one of these guys, it's going to be much more of a longer night for them.
Yeah, a couple other players to talk about here briefly. And James Rossell, the sophomore quarterback, has been making some really nice reads, had that keeper where he got to the end zone and scored with his legs. Now, after that big interception and that turnover where Preston Staley hauled in the interception, got his team into enemy territory, right back on the field, Rossell throws one deep. First play of that drive, and Gavin Moore down the field, the senior wide receiver, hauls in the big touchdown reception. That's really what sealed it. That sealed things for the first quarter. So I guess coming out here in the second quarter, obviously we're not at a point yet where we're going to see running clock. If the Bulldogs can score again and continue to stop Midview, that things could get pretty quick here in the second half. But really, as they come back out here, from what you saw from Midview here in the past, from what you've seen from Mark Reed and the play that they've had, anything you'd say that maybe they should adjust or they should do as they come out in the second half?
I think whatever game plan that they have, they need to stick with it and just trust their guys. I mean, being down 34-0 is not an easy pill to swallow right now. I mean, anything is possible. I mean, 2-3 touchdowns and you're right back in this game. You just got to be able to contain the Bulldogs. I mean, they have home court advantage, and the crowd and everything helps them, and momentum helps and everything. But they have an opportunity to, at least not have 0 points on the board. They could really turn this around. They just got to be able to convert. I mean, Mark Reed was able to make a lot of late quarter passes, and they were real close to the touchdown. They just weren't able to convert yet. So I think that the closer they'll get, the second half should be a little bit different for them.
And even when you're down big, it's not just about getting points on the scoreboard for the sake of this game, but also getting some good things on film as you got a long season still ahead of you. We are only in week 4. Again, Darian, thanks for joining me here for the halftime show. Thanks for all the work you're doing again on the camera for us here, part of that great 3-man crew we got going here tonight. Again, a big shout out to you and for all the listeners at home. Again, thank you for watching and listening on Key on Sports, the YouTube channel here. We're going to take a break, step aside. We will be back after halftime for the start of the 3rd quarter.
Tonight's broadcast is brought to you by Back Attack Snacks. They're a healthy option on the go and provide the very best in healthy snacking. With everything from beef jerky to roasted almonds, they have it all. Visit them online at backattacksnacks.com. Car Parts Warehouse. If your car is in need of repairs, then the first place you need to call is Car Parts Warehouse. They cut out the middlemen and bring the service right to you. Find them online at carpartswarehouse.net. Cleveland Bakery Collective not only focuses on bringing together some of the best food and flavors in the Cleveland area, but creating a collaborative and supportive environment where local food artists can prepare, produce, store, and sell their delicious products all in one convenient location. Check them out online at clevelandbakerycollective.com. Tonight's broadcast is brought to you by Cleveland Fitness Club. They have it all: bikes, tracks, courts, and even pools. They truly have something for everyone and are open 365 days a year. You can visit them today at 6600 West 130th Street in Middleburg Heights. Climate Tech Inc. For 48 years, family-owned and operated Climate Tech has been the premier company for all HVAC services. For both residential and commercial, they have it covered. They offer free estimates on equipment replacement and 24-hour emergency service. Visit them at climatetech.com. Dave's Golden Shear Barbershop. Dave's Golden Shear Barbershop has been your trusted barber for nearly a century of great haircuts. With affordable prices and excellent customer service, there's no better place to get your cut. It is located at 26915 Center Ridge Road in Westlake. Dick Esser Plumbing. Get exceptional plumbing repairs and installations for your commercial property from the experienced professionals at Dick Esser Plumbing and Heating Incorporated. They provide honest services and quality workmanship. You can find out more about them today at dickesserplumbing.com. Frankie's Italian Cuisine. Looking for a place to enjoy a post-game meal? Love Italian food? Frankie's Italian Cuisine has you covered from meatball to lasagna. Visit them tonight at 4641 Great Northern Boulevard in North Olmsted. Great Lakes Training. Great Lakes Basketball caters to athletes of all ages and experience levels with a wide variety of training techniques. Book your first session today at www.greatlakesbasketball.com or email Coach J at coachj@greatlakesbasketball.com. Helene Kia. Looking for a new or used car? Check out our guy Jim McConville at Helene Kia in North Olmsted on Lorraine Road. Jim is a trusted member of the auto community for over 20 years, and he will treat you right no matter your car buying need. Hinckley Roofing. They are your first choice in commercial and residential roofing. This family-run company has been around for 50 years and is your first choice in trusted roofing needs. You can find them online today at hinkleyroofing.com or call them at 330-273-2979. JBL Roofing and Construction. JBL is a licensed, bonded, and insured contractor with the experience to complete any job needed for your home or property. Let their team of professionals help you with vinyl siding, windows, roofing, and gutters. Get the job done right the first time and stress-free with JBL. Call them today at 330-677-9463 or visit them on the web at jblrc.com. Jeffrey Protects Insurance. In today's day and age, insurance from someone you can trust is more important than ever, and you won't make a better choice than Jeffrey Protects Insurance. At JPI, they specialize in Medicare, healthcare insurance, and life insurance. Visit them at jeffreyprotects.com or give them a call at 330-304-7267. Jenny's Popcorn. You can find their flavors anywhere popcorn is sold, including Giant Eagle and Mark's. Visit them online at jennyspopcorn.com or in person at 38727 Taylor Parkway in North Ridgeville, Ohio. They have everything from butter, cheese, caramel, and everything in between at this popcorn paradise. Jerome, Grauer, and Associates. They handle estate planning and their steps are so simple. They handle everything from simple wills to complex trust planning. Contact them today for your legal needs at 216-241-9990 or check them out online at jeromelaw.com. Julie Dangerfield of Keller Williams Realty. Julie has the experience, knowledge, and determination to get the job done. Contact her at 440-309-0396 or by email at juliand222@gmail.com for a complimentary market analysis of your home value today. Kelly McLean Achievement Center, the premier resource for high school athletes who wish to continue to play in college. They provide a one-on-one consultative approach to help students determine their needs and goals. Visit them online at kellymac.com. Makeaway Dumpster. At Makeaway, customers get discounts on days and prices. They offer 24-hour delivery in most cases, along with 10, 15, 20, and 25 cubic yard containers. With Makeaway, there are no hidden charges for drop-off, pickup, or wait. Find them at makeawaydumpsterrental.com. MDG Flooring. If you're in need of quality flooring for your home or office, look no further than MDG Flooring America in Medina. There is nothing that Steve and his talented staff cannot handle. Call them today at 330-725-5252 or stop in and visit them in person at 3812 Pearl Road in Medina. Nancy's Main Street Diner. They only prepare your meals with the freshest ingredients. The dishes are made to order as they never use heat lamps and they take no shortcuts whatsoever. They are located at 426 Main Street in Grafton, Ohio. Nancy's Main Street Diner is your choice for all 3 daily meals. Play CLE. Play CLE is the ultimate indoor adventure park in Northeast Ohio. With zip lining, ninja obstacle courses, climbing walls, and the area's largest indoor ropes course, Play CLE is the best option to get inside and have some fun and adventure. It's the perfect place for your next team building event, birthday party, or field trip. With an on-site bar and kitchen, Play CLE makes sure you are properly fueled to reach new heights. To learn more, visit playadventureparks.com or stop by the facility in Avon off 611 and Chester. Salad Craze. Looking to eat healthy and go away happy? Try Salad Craze. They have been voted Cleveland's healthiest restaurant 4 years in a row. Stop in for yourself and find out why at 690 Avon Belden Road in Avon Lake. You can check out their menu at saladcraze.com.
And welcome back to Vitamix Field at Charles Harding Memorial Stadium. Start of the third quarter, about to get this one back underway. Cole McDaniel alongside me, Dom Clary. Again, Dom, it's really been all Bulldogs, and that's something that myself and Darian, we talked about at halftime, 34-0, and we'll see what the Middies can do as they come back out onto the field. Of course, matter of the Middies receive the football first in the game, so you're actually going to see the Bulldogs receive the football first here in the second half. So can they come out, keep the offense out there, score again on this first drive, and maybe get some of their other guys in, get them time in this game? We'll wait and see what they can do on that first drive, but for the Middies, it's pretty much been impossible to stop the Bulldogs' offense.
That's the case that a lot of teams are going to experience here against the Bulldogs. Key number one for them on offense is keep feeding the ball to your best option. That's Mason. You need you to say his name again real quick. Casera. Yes, I need a pronunciation guide here, Cole. Casera, he's been solid. 9 receptions, 59 yards. I thought his yardage would be up a little bit more, but they kind of just give him the ball and let him go with it. So get him the ball. He's your best option, possibly your best player on your team. Keep feeding him the ball. Maybe something good will happen. But being down 34-0 in a high school game with 12 minutes, you're 1 point away from a running clock. Just do what you can. Whatever happens, it is what it is. Just look for good stuff in your offense, things that you can look forward to throughout the season going forward.
So 12 minutes up on the clock. From right to left on your screen, Midview will be kicking this one away. Again, mentioned at the beginning of this broadcast, so if you tuned in a little bit later, again, the gorgeous turf put down, and that was the summer project here for Olmsted Falls. And here is that kick to open the third quarter, starting the second half. Fielded deep close to the end zone. An excellent move there. A little bit of a juke. And out past the 25, up to the 27-yard line, and that's where the Bulldogs come out on the field, and you hear the crowd cheering their team on out of the locker room. And like I said, looking to put more points up on the board. It's been impossible to stop them here throughout this game tonight. And Dom already out of the locker room. Looks like plenty of new faces in the huddle as the Bulldogs find themselves up 34-0. Wondered if they'd keep the starters out onto the field, try to score some more points here on this first drive, and then pull the starters instead. No, going to the backups here. So the starters, looks like their night's done here, unless something crazy happens in the second half of this game.
So what I don't get is why not get that running clock going, right? It's that doesn't truly make sense, but I can see they don't want their players to get hurt.
And here's a handoff up the middle, not much room to run there. Jaden Weaver, the senior quarterback, into the game, replacing James Rossell. And we actually saw a little bit of Weaver in week 2. Rossell went down, was out for a drive. Weaver came in, ran the offense quite well, kept control of the ball, really controlled the offense, and the senior has shown his ability as well as the backup quarterback. So they can absolutely trust him as he comes in with the offense. 2nd and 8, ball on the 20. A little bit of a flinch up front. Looked like either the guard or the center inside moved first. And the penalty marker down on the field, and that's going to back up the Bulldogs.
When you have a program here like Olmsted Falls, this is like a looking into the future here. I played on a team where this was a situation a lot. I was a sophomore, didn't play in critical time. So this was a time when we went to go, show off what we can do for the future. That group of kids that went out there ended up having an undefeated season. That's what Olmsted Falls wants to do. They want to show that their future is just as bright as their present.
Here's a handoff, looking for a little bit of room to run, and nothing there. Swallowed up in the backfield there. I believe that number there, again in that pile, was number 25. Tyler Miller, the sophomore who got that handoff. Now a 3rd and 13 from the 12-yard line. 10 minutes remaining in the third quarter. Weaver under center. 2 receivers out to the far side, 1 on the near side. Takes a snap. Hands off up the middle. White jerseys quickly surrounding the ball carrier there, and it will be a 4th and long for the Bulldogs. They're going to need to send out the punting unit and boot this one away to the Middies. So back to return, 2 returners back there for the Middies, standing at their own 45-yard line. This punt sails and backs up the returner to his 50-yard line, hauled in, lunging forward up to about the 41-yard line. We'll see exactly where they spot Dane West, but best field position of the night for Midview.
See a few starters trotting out there. I think that defense is going to remain mainly the same here. A few new faces here.
Yeah, quite a few new faces I'm seeing down there on defense, but the linebacker, Preston Staley, who got the big interception, he remains out there with the current defense, a leader there at linebacker. But we'll see if the Middies can get their first points on the night. Mark Reed, a keeper, up the middle. A little bit of room to run following his blockers. Gets a gain of about 6.
That student section is always just high energy. Even at Brunswick a few weeks ago, they were shaking the stadium, and they were on the other side that we were at. Olmsted Falls does a good job, that student body.
Reed pressured in the backfield, gets away from the would-be tackler. Gets out for maybe a yard. Great job there by the senior quarterback, not taking a loss there, but really not much room for him to run. And now setting up a 3rd and 4. Clock continues to tick, 7.5 minutes remaining in the third quarter. Reed back to pass, looking to the far side of the field, connects with his receiver. Dane West past the first down marker, moving the chains for the Middies.
So if there's a touchdown here, you throw your starters back in right away? Because that's the only – I don't see why not continue playing dominant with your starters and then –
There's a throw deep. Reed to the end zone. Big interception. Bulldogs. Number 5, Caden Delicio.
I don't see why you take a shot there. You're moving the ball effectively. Keep doing so. But I guess it's in their DNA. They want to get that long touchdown, try to get all back at once. Wasn't able to work out there.
Yeah, you had great field position. If you're Midview, again, maybe could have strung a nice drive together of quite a few plays and got to the end zone. Instead, they wanted it all there. And Mark Reed, the senior, he wanted it. Looked for his receiver down the field. And Delicio had tight coverage. The junior just jumped up there and able to reach it at its highest point and haul in that interception. And you talked about it there, and this is interesting, though. This is a nice test for the backups here for the Bulldogs as they come out on the field. They were getting swallowed up in the backfield, taking losses. They're back out at their own 1-yard line. So maybe a safety opportunity here for Midview. Handoff up the middle, and I don't think he got out of the end zone, but the near side official comes across, says that just enough room for Tyler Miller to to get out of his own end zone. It looked like it was going to end up being a safety there. So a test now. Second down for the Bulldogs, still backed up.
You know, if you're like a JV group that scores against a varsity group, that is something special. That's a program that you know really has it all together.
Here's a pitch. Hit in the end zone. 2 points for the Middies as Peyton Delicio, who just got the interception, is taken down. And the Middies are going to get the ball back. Now no longer a donut on the scoreboard for them, and their offense can come back on the field and try to piece together a drive.
Can't imagine that's how they thought they were going to score today, right? All right, guys, game plan here today. Get a safety to start out our scoring. No, but you know that can lead into positive things here. You know, it's not really a kickoff; it's a punt here. So you're gonna get the ball, good field position here. Make the most of it. 34-2, not a stat line or not a score I thought I'd see today, Cole.
Well, and of course, as you already know, Dom, Vince and myself started Season 3 of the Climate Tech Inc. NFL Prediction Show, and one of the 3 college games we discussed this week. Of course, we always start with 3 college games, and then we talk about the NFL in depth in our podcast. And again, make sure everybody to tune into that one. Again, that should be posted on Thursdays of each given week. But we talked about Iowa State and Iowa, and Iowa had an interesting one against South Dakota State. They just came away with that win, 7-3 this past week. Took a field goal and 2 safeties to get the win there. Can't believe that. You know, Iowa, always such a tough defense, but I would have thought they would have done more on offense against South Dakota State.
I don't know why, but Iowa's always a team that's like ranked in the top 15, and they have like the worst offense in the country. I don't know how they do it or how they stay relevant in the Big Ten. Boy, is it remarkable. But that's not even like, that's not even remarkable for them. That's just Iowa football right there. Win in any way possible. That's a score. You ever hear of scoregami? You know what that is?
Yeah.
The college scoregami shut down for a few hours and didn't record it. And so I have no idea the Twitter account that runs it. Mm-hmm. So I don't know if it is scoregami. But you have to imagine that has to be a score that we've never seen, right? In college football, there's no way.
I'm not sure. I doubt it. But, well, no, I take that back. I'm sure we've seen 7-3 before. Just how we got to 7-3 was quite strange. Here's a return for Midview. Out past the 50-yard line. Halted in his tracks. And a big hit there at the 50-yard line as Ethan Vitale is taken down.
Now, if it was 5-3, it probably would have been a scoregami.
Perhaps, yeah. 7-3, I'm sure there have been 7-3 games at some point. But a touchdown and a field goal, not a field goal and 2 safeties. That's not what you typically see when getting 7 points. It's very unconventional and takes a lot more time to do that, Dom.
That's smash mouth football there, Cole. That's all I see. Hard defense.
Just a little over 5.5 minutes remaining here in the third quarter. Man in motion. Reed takes the snap, hands it off to Kusira. He's trying to get out to the far side, a little bit of room to run, and pushed out of bounds at about the 45-yard line. They're going to say he stepped out at the 46. 2nd and 5 now for Midview. Trips left, now man in motion. Reed takes a snap, rolling to his left. Looking downfield, nowhere to throw. Instead decides to tuck the football and gets a couple yards there. Smart decision by Reed, but definitely a lot of blue jerseys surrounding him quickly. Now 3rd and 2, ball on the 43. Running back to the right of Reed. Kusira in motion. Reed, keeper. Little stutter step almost looked like a basketball Euro step there and maybe got a yard. Lunging towards the first down marker. Setting up now a 4th and 1 from the 42. Offense remains on the field for Midview.
Cool. I kind of missed the grass.
Do you?
Yeah, it was kind of cool. You know, back where, middle of nowhere, PA, where I'm from, usually when it's a grass field, it's a dirt field, right? The middle of the field's all dirt, and then the grass is the sidelines. But here, that wasn't the case.
That was not the case here, that's for sure. Now on the turf, the Bulldogs, after having the safety that they gave up and allowing Midview to put 2 points up on the board, a nice stand there for the defense, getting the stop on that 4th and 1 play.
The one thing I'm not a fan of that play had nothing to do with the result or the execution. The runner is on the ground and everyone's walking towards the sideline. That's a team that's not buying in right now. They are defeated in the result of the play. They walked away. All 5 of those linemen should have been picking up that runner. I'm not a fan of that, Cole. I was always taught if you're a lineman, you're not picking up your running back or your quarterback after every play. That's a line that's not very close knit to this group of whoever's running the ball, or in general. So, not a fan of that there.
And here's a handoff up the middle for the Bulldogs. Not much room to run there, but just enough to surge forward there for Miller. And Miller, not the biggest fullback, listed at 5'11". Maybe a little bit generous at the 5'11" there. Looks like he's not the tallest guy out on the field, but slipped behind his lineman, gained 3 yards. Now 2nd and 7, ball on the 46. 3 minutes remaining in the third quarter.
The height and weight in football is a little bit more generous than anything else.
Here's a keeper for Weaver. Thought he was going to hand that one off up the middle. Maybe made a little bit of a decision late. Not much room there for the quarterback. Picks up 2. 3rd and 5 now. So on 3rd and 5 here, Dom. Near side hash. You've got Weaver out there. An experienced backup quarterback and a senior. Do you go to the air here or still run it?
Oh, no, you run the ball. Rest of the game, I'd keep running it.
It is going to be a run. A little bit of a stumble there on that handoff. It's the fullback and Weaver bumped into each other. That maybe slowed down the ball carrier and Miller. Surge forward for 2 yards, but now resulting in a 4th and 3 from the 50. And the punting unit's going to be out on the field sending this one away.
There's a few players there on the right, Cole, that's getting the student section back into the game. I don't know if you see right there, but they're all just getting hyped. They were jumping up and down for a few minutes. Now it's a party around at the 40-yard line. Yeah, you can see it on the bottom right of your screen there.
A lot of credit there to the starters who are cheering on their guys as their night has really been deemed officially done since they came out of the locker room.
You know, one thing I used to always hear, usually in scrimmages, but when you're blowing a team out, the coaches, starters, get off the bench, put your helmets on, support the guys up there. They support you every game. I don't think they have to say that to this group.
Right.
This is, again, this culture that Olmsted Falls has is special. They are all bought in from the top to the bottom. It doesn't matter who's on the field. They're supporting whoever's out there. That's a program that is dedicated to winning a championship at whatever capacity.
Minute remaining here in the third quarter. The handoff on the receiver to the receiver on the sweep, and that is number 21, Chris Muscata, and just able to get out of bounds there after picking up 1 yard. Again, had that speed coming around the corner, but really nothing there, just blue jerseys in front of him and shepherded him out of that white out of bounds line.
I felt like he got a lot more yards than he got.
Yeah, ran a long way for 1 yard there, but a lot of east and west rather than north and south running. Back to pass, Reed, a little bit of pressure from behind, and an interception there. Tried to fit that one into a tight window, looking for Dane West. Tough night for the senior quarterback, but that Bulldogs defense still competing, making things happen. Really just another big interception there, and that's the third quarter is basically going to end how that second quarter ended. Interception right at the end, less than a minute left on the clock. Same thing here, 37 seconds remaining, ball on the 30, great field position for Weaver and the offense.
Yeah, and they're going to keep it simple here. Run their offense, nothing fancy. Honestly, probably what their JV playbook is, which is the bare minimum.
Here's the pitch. A little bit of room to run there. Delicio with the last touch there of the third quarter. Would assume they're just going to let this clock wind down with 10 seconds remaining here in the third and switch sides of the field here going into the fourth. And this third quarter going to wrap up by a score of 34-2. Again, Midview has points on the board, just coming by way of their defense with a safety. We'll take a quick break. We'll be back with the start of the fourth quarter here in just a moment.
Tonight's broadcast is brought to you by Spins Bowl. Spins Bowl has 36 lanes and a large redemption arcade with a full bar and restaurant. It is truly a good time for the whole family as it has something for everyone, young and old. Swing by their website for more info at spinsbowl.com. TNT Construction. They provide residential and commercial remodeling, construction, and building services to clients in Cleveland and all of Northeast Ohio. Look them up today at tntcleveland.com.
And we're back here for the start of the fourth quarter. 2nd and 7, ball on the 27. Here's a handoff up the middle, not much room for Miller as white jerseys in front of him immediately. Maybe got 2 yards out of that one. They're actually going to give him 3 yards there, maybe a favorable spot, possibly falling forward a bit. So 3rd and 4, ball on the 24. Weaver under center. Delicio in motion. Here's a keeper for Weaver. Weaver has some room to run and stumbles down inside the 10-yard line. 1st and goal, Bulldogs.
Just solid run there. I'd like to see more of that from him. Again, playbook's so limited when he gets in there that it's not really allowing him to do much, but hey, made the best of it there, showing what he's capable of doing in this offense. One thing I want to point out, a lot of high schools now, this wasn't huge when I was playing, but it was starting to become bigger, was the signaling, right? Coaches wearing the wristbands and the signage. My team did this back in the day. The quarterback would run to the coach would talk to him directly, meet him around the numbers. Olmsted Falls does that. I'm a big fan of that.
Here's a handoff. And white jerseys quickly swarming off to the far sideline and wrapped up and taken down very quickly there was the ball carrier. And so now 2nd and goal from the 7-yard line. So Weaver in the offense looking to punch it in and get the first points for the Bulldogs on the second half. Handoff up the middle to Miller. Maybe back to the line of scrimmage there.
I wish they'd open up the playbook right about now. That'd be cool. Try to get some points here. Again, they're running their base offense here, but then do a little play action pass. Let's see a nice little pass here from Weaver. I'd like to see that.
I would too.
We've never seen him pass yet. He did not pass against Brunswick. Yeah.
No, he did not. Yeah, I'd love to see a little maybe fade to the back corner of the end zone, just something for Weaver to be able to use his arm, see what he's got. Instead, going to be a pitch, trying to get to the outside. Patrick Desalich taken down, now 4th and 5. So, again, 4th and goal. So, like I mentioned, 4th and goal from the 5-yard line. 8.5 minutes left to go. Again, taking their time, letting that clock continue to tick down here at the moment. But the Bulldogs, they want more here. They're going to keep the offense out on the field, see if they can get into the end zone. And, they've just been continually running here, but I'd love to see them go to the air. Keeper for Weaver. Weaver, smart read, and he gets into the end zone. Excellent play by the senior quarterback. 6 more up on the board. And now 40 points for the Bulldogs on the night.
I like that Weaver got a touchdown there. Well deserved there for the young man. He's there when they need him. They have a great option at quarterback already, but boy, almost any other team, he'd be the man back there, being the signal caller.
Now a new place kicker out on the field. I believe that's number 35, Jack Birch, the sophomore. And he does add that extra point. And now the score is 41-2.
So score update, Avon Lake. This was 56 minutes ago. There has not been an update. It was 14-7, but that's probably changed by now. Avon leads.
I would assume so with those offenses.
Yeah, no, you'd think, but both these teams are tough. When there's a rivalry like this, again, like we look into college like Pitt and West Virginia, the numbers-wise shows, Pitt should have blown them out when you look at ranking, when you look at kind of what team was a little bit better last year and who's coming back. It was a close game. West Virginia should have won that game effectively. That's what we saw last year. It was an Avon Lake team that had the fight and claw, and they struggled throughout that year last year. Avon, they were the best team in the conference. So sometimes when there's rivalry, you got to throw everything out of the window. It doesn't matter if defense is good, offense is good. Everything's on an equal playing field in a rivalry game.
We'll bounce back to the talk about Avon and Avon Lake in that matchup tonight again. But a reminder that the last red zone trip for the Bulldogs was brought to you by Kelly McLean Achievement Center. Visit them online at kelly-mac.com. So, Dom, you're talking about it, the Silver Rail rivalry and what's going on there, and you got another update from Twitter on that one. And we'll get to that here in just a moment. Kusira fields it at the 10-yard line, switching fields all the way to the near side, and just shoved out of bounds. A lot of running east to west, but he picked up plenty of yards, got out past the 35-yard line, spotted down at the 37. And so, Dom, I know you just showed me, but I'll let you mention it. The last update there from the game between Avon and Avon Lake, Silver Rail rivalry.
Yeah, no, we have a 21-14 ball game somewhere in the second half. Not quite sure where. I'd imagine fumble.
Ball's on the ground. Bulldogs jump on it. Mistake there from number 22, Hunter Anderson, and the Bulldogs get the ball right back. So, obviously, sorry to have to cut you off there, Dom, but you saw it as well there, the fumble. But we'll go back to you again. You're talking about Avon and Avon Lake. Not sure where in the second half it is right now, but was a score of 21-14, the last update we're now seeing on social media.
It's, it said, what I saw said, yeah, so how long ago was this? 8:41, and it was the opening drive of the second half. So they're in the middle of the third quarter now. They're way behind us, which is kind of what we assumed. Team that's been running the ball a lot. And, the Middies actually had a lot of receptions in that first half. Not too many incomplete passes. So that was a big part of it as well.
Right.
But the game went by quick. Their game, 21-14 for the Civil Rail. There's a thriller every year for that game.
There is.
You know, I was lucky enough to play in a really competitive rivalry of my own where it kept going back and forth. But that Civil Rail it's unmatched to any other high school rivalry in this area, especially in this area.
Yeah, such a great rivalry. We were out at it last year, and Avon Lake got the win on the road. So if we have any more updates, we will continue to provide some updates on that one for everybody here who fans of the SWC and wondering what's going on up there in Avon Lake. Now back on the field there, the handoff for the Bulldogs only picked up 2. Ball now on the 30-yard line, 6.5 minutes remaining on the clock. And also a change at quarterback as well. See number 17, Jaden Bayer, in at QB. That one swallowed in the backfield on that carry up the middle. White jerseys surrounding the blue jerseys there, and you're seeing Midview again try to make a little bit of a stand here on defense. 2 pretty decent plays for them back-to-back, stopping the run up the middle. Now we'll see if they can still stand strong on 3rd and 9. A reminder as well that we'll have a brief post-game show at the end where we'll also talk about the Back Attack Snacks player of the game. Here's a handoff. Trying to get around the edge on the near side and shoved out just a little past the 25-yard line.
Running clock going here, Cole. Stop for now. Stoppage of play, but yeah, this is going to be a 5 minutes. It's going to go by pretty smoothly.
Yeah, just a little over 5 minutes, as you mentioned here, Dom. And yeah, the clock, like we talked about, a lot of completions, a lot of running plays. So things have really ticked away quickly here from Olmsted Falls. I'm sure a lot of other games tonight are a little bit behind us in actual gameplay and how that clock continues to tick down. But we haven't seen the running clock. You know, Midview defensively here in the second half, they've been able to, for the most part, shut down the backups of the Bulldogs. But the Bulldogs did get that touchdown on the last drive. And they're going to look to see what they can do here in decent field position right now. Mentioned 4th and 4 now. Ball on the 26. Wouldn't be surprised if they maybe keep their offense out on the field. Again, a little bit of a brief pause in action as I believe a player is down injured here on the near sideline. Again, hope he is okay. Dom, something else that we had talked about a little bit earlier, so we might as well touch on it here right now. We talked about loving having high school football back a couple weeks ago. Now it's been back for a couple weeks. We're in week 4. College football back last week. Now really we hit week 1 of the NFL season, so all levels of football playing right now. I got to witness the Bills and the Rams last night, but then coming into Sunday, just a full slate of NFL games. I know you're going to be watching and enjoying that. How good does it feel to see all levels of football just back now?
Cole, you talked about the weekend coming up. It just put a smile on my face. Football is the best time of the year for me. I just, high school, college, and NFL all have different environments. There's just something different every time you go to a game. You know, high school, I get to be here with you and enjoy that. College, I get to travel all over, not just the state of Ohio, hopefully Michigan. I get to go deep into Pennsylvania twice. That's awesome. Sitting in the box, I can't wait to see for the view of Happy Valley. I don't know if you've ever been. There's nothing there. It's just the world out there. And that press box is on top of the stadium. Sometimes they'll be like in the middle between like the club levels. It's on top. You're going to see the entire world. I can't wait for that. In the NFL, let's sit back, relax, and watch the games. And then I get to listen to you and Vince do your prediction shows. You do this, what, on Thursdays?
Yeah, we you know, a lot of times, like I said, that will be posted on Thursdays. It should be up every single Thursday. There are times, of course, where we recorded the day previously, but you will see it go up on Thursdays, again, right before a Thursday night football game.
And hopefully I'll join you guys once or twice this year. I know Vince told me, you know, I'm welcome to join. But, sometimes I'll come in and show you guys that you don't know how to predict properly, and I'll show you what's going to happen. It's almost like like you rub a genie bottle and I pop out and I tell you what's going to happen.
As much as I love the confidence, I don't think it's quite worked that way when you join the prediction show. I do think Vince and I have still been able to have the better records on that given week. But you have done a great job when you join the show. We always love having you as a guest as well, so you are always welcome.
Hey, for bowl games, I'm pretty sure I was pretty solid there.
You did very well with college. Yeah, absolutely did well with college. Hey, I'm trying to get revenge on Vince here this year. Both our first 2 years for the Climate Tech Inc. NFL Prediction Show, I start off with a lead over Vince, and I know he's going to watch and listen to this back here later and laugh at this, but I start off with a lead here, Dom, and the first half of the season, both times, but it was so close. And then once the second half of the season hit, he'd get little games by little games and just slowly chip away, and then by the end, he'd be up on me. I'd just barely lose the season. It's happened twice now, so I'm hoping that things turn the corner. I start off hot and continue that way and can maintain the lead. Thankfully, again, back to action here on the football field here from Olmsted Falls. And a handoff up the middle there on 4th and 4, keeping the legs churning, moving that pile, getting maybe about a half yard short of the sticks there, but that's going to be a turnover on downs. Not to discredit the effort of the Bulldogs as they were trying to get to the first down marker, just not quite enough. So the Middies return with the offense down 41-2. Change at quarterback as well. Cody Martin, the sophomore out there. Handoff up the middle. Burst of speed, bouncing to the outside to the 40. Plenty of room to run. It's a foot race past the 50 to the 40. Lots of speed, and Midview going to get their first touchdown of the night. A huge carry there from Cameron West, the sophomore. And does he have speed to burn? He was cruising. No Bulldogs touching him. 8 points now on the board for the Middies.
Where did that come from? Oh, boy, they could have used that 3 quarters ago. Wow. He just let the speed go there. Ooh. It's too little, too late, of course, but that was a fun play to watch. And your call as well was pretty good on that as well, Cole. That got me a little excited. I was about to jump through the window there for that call.
Well, he was flying with that speed, and now we're going to see if the Middies can convert on this 2-point conversion here, try to put 2 more up on the board. Here's the snap. It's a little bit high. Handoff, bobbled a little bit. Needs a push from behind, and looks like that's going to get into the end zone. Cross-Worthy was the one who had the ball carrier, and his offensive line came up big and gave him that extra shove he needed at the end. Thought he was going to be stopped short. Now 41-10 Midview, and they're going to feel good about that little sequence there. Yeah, and so, Dom, talking about that carry there for Cameron West, got something really nice on film, something to look forward to in the future. We haven't seen much with running the ball or a really dominant running back in the backfield who's gotten a ton of carries. I mean, we've seen James Ansell line up there. A few guys get some touches running the ball. A lot more jet sweeps, a lot of short, quick passing. You might have something there with number 15, Cameron West, with that speed. Maybe you can throw him into the game here or there, not even just in future years. Maybe this season. Like I said, speed kills. And you saw it there as he got around the edge. Looked like it was going to be a foot race. Maybe somebody would be able to get to him around the 40-yard line, even though there were some decent angles for the Bulldogs. Nobody could catch him, and he was gone.
I wonder why this is the first time we've seen him today.
I don't know, but I wouldn't be surprised if people see more of him here this season.
I'd hope so. That kid's talented, and you can tell just from that. Yeah. I know on Sundays for JV, if he's playing JV games, he's dominating.
I would assume so with that speed.
Mm-hmm.
That is one of the fastest runs I have seen in quite a while in high school football. So following that touchdown and the 2-point conversion for Midview, they kick this one deep. It's returned close to the end zone for the Bulldogs. Room to run, getting around the edge. One man to beat. We got a foot race. Back-to-back big plays. Bulldogs to the house. Number 23, Trent Habnicki. And Habnicki, what a run.
About to run out of breath here, Cole. There's too much happening. we have a 70-yard run and a 96-yard kickoff return. Oh, Lord, Cole. Wow, there's a lot. Nothing happened for that third quarter, most of the fourth. And now it's like a highlight reel. Wow. Oh, wow. Something to put on your highlight tape. Something really impressive to put on your highlight tape. God, I didn't even see who that was. It was number 20. Is that who that was?
Number 23.
Jeez, I wasn't able
Rabnicki. Yep.
Wasn't able to get my stats ready. Whew.
And the attempted PAT there by Jack Birch hits off of the outside of the upright there, and no good. So the score now 47-10 in favor of the Bulldogs. So, Tom, something that we're probably not going to do here on the YouTube channel, but I'm almost thinking it's like if we could edit something on the screen right now, we almost need a back-to-back big play counter. That's two offensive. Actually, that wasn't even offensive. That was a special teams play. 2 plays back-to-back taken to the house. Massive plays. Can we get to 3 in a row? We'll see if Midview can return the favor here on this kickoff return. That's going to be coming your way here in just a moment. But, wow. You talked about not much that happened in the third quarter. Here, under 5 minutes left to go, things have been very exciting despite the difference in score.
What's going to happen next?
I don't know.
Oh, anything could happen. Do we have a running clock again? Or yeah, I think we do. Yeah.
Yeah, and so, no, nothing. No running clock here. Not yet. Four and a half minutes remaining in the game. Kickoff from right to left on your screen. Back deep, return at the 10-yard line. And not going to be quite taking that one to the house there on that return, but up the middle, just a little bit of a room there for Crossworthy, and he gets up to the 33-yard line.
There's a lot happening, Cole. Those 2 plays messed me up mentally. I still, you told me who scored. You said it was 20 or 23?
23.
23. I'm like in a different plane right now, Cole. I don't know. There's something about big plays in football. It doesn't matter what the score is. They get me excited.
Dom Soul has left his body and joined the teams on the football field here right now.
Cole, give me a helmet right now.
Trips right for Midview. Handoff up the middle. Pulling some tacklers. Play not blown dead, and now it is off of that Tommy Kmitt carry. Five yards there for Midview. 2nd and 5. Ball at the 38. Run up the middle. A couple more yards for Midview out to the 40-yard line on that gain of 2. 3rd and 3. 3 minutes remaining in the game.
You know, you're the Middies, and you just did a big play. You're excited. Things are going, at the end of the game, things just went our way. And then, boom, they don't. It's just, you just never see that. That's insane. Football, man. That's a crazy sport sometimes.
Here's a handoff once again on the jet sweep. Not much room there for Worthy. gets back to the line of scrimmage, and now 4th and 3 from the 40. And like I had said, at the end of this fourth quarter, a reminder that we'll take a quick break, and myself and Dom will be back with the quick post-game wrap-up show. But we're talking about the games coming up here for both of these teams. The Bulldogs go on the road at North Ridgeville next week, and the Rangers going to really have to be on watch against the Bulldogs because this is a very tough team that are honestly going to have some fresh legs as well because their starters only played a half in this game as well, so it only took a half before they were taken out. So we'll see what the Rangers could do or what the Bulldogs can do next week. And then we'll look at Midview, what they have coming up as well. And so Midview, again, got stopped on that 4th and short. Turnover on downs. Bulldogs take possession again here with 2 minutes remaining. So discussing what's coming up next for Midview this next week. They're going to be at home versus Amherst Steel. So a good opportunity to bounce back as the Middies are falling to 1 and 3. See if they can move to 2 and 3 following next week. And it's going to be victory formation for the Bulldogs. And I saw a hilarious stat, and I can't remember now. I actually think it had to do with it was either college football or the NFL, Dom. I can't remember at this point, but it was a hilarious stat on Twitter the other week, and it said, the more kneel downs that you have, the greater the percentage of chances of winning the game is. So it was giving the percentage chances of how many kneel downs it takes to really get to that almost like 100% chance of winning. So it's so funny. I'm just waiting to see if a team would go out first play of a game, kneel down to increase their likelihood of winning. But
like the Water Boy, where they come out in the second half in the Bourbon Bowl. Kneel down so Bobby Boucher can't affect the ball game.
Again, one of the maybe the favorite formations for coaches out there and players out there for football. Again, at the end of the game where you get to just go into that victory formation, finish out this game, and one more snap, one more kneel down, and that is going to do it as the Bulldogs win at home 47-10 over the Middies. As I mentioned, Midview drops to 1 and 3 on the year, and the Bulldogs move to 3 and 1. So, as I mentioned, we're going to take a really quick break here. Don't tune out, turn away from the YouTube channel because Dom and myself, we're not quite done yet. We're going to take a really quick break, and we'll be right back to discuss this game at the conclusion.
Tonight's broadcast is brought to you by Travel by Mickey. Now is the time to make memories once again, and Mickey Beachler with Travel by Mickey is just the person to make all the arrangements for your dream vacation. Reach out to her at Mickey Beachler at mousemadesimple.com to begin your next big trip today. With Mickey, you get to experience all of the fun with zero hassles or stress of any kind. From a Disney cruise to a trip to the Greek Isles, she has every dream destination covered from liftoff to touchdown. Village Coffee and Creamery. From the founders of Nancy's Main Street Diner comes Village Coffee and Creamery. They have everything from dessert, lunch items, and coffee to ice cream and every kind of sweet treat you could think of. They are located at 486 Main Street in Grafton. Westside Flea. Ohio's favorite flea market and festival will be coming back this spring and summer once again. The Westside Flea has something for everyone and will be held at North Olmsted Park on August 20th and September 17th. You can find them on Facebook at Westside Flea to learn more.
And we're back here as we wrap this one up, the post-game show for the Keon Sports Game of the Week. Olmsted Falls, that 47-10 win over Midview, and we're going to talk about the Back Attack Snacks player of the game. Again, a reminder that Back Attack Snacks, they're a healthy option on the go and provide the very best option in healthy snacking. With everything from beef jerky to roasted almonds, they have it all. Visit them online at backattacksnacks.com. Dom, who's that player of the game for us here on the Keon Sports Game of the Week?
Well, I think early on it looked like Michael Kandow was going to be the guy. I mean, he had a stat line of 118 yards and a touchdown. But as soon as we thought it was – and he had a lot of big plays too, by the way. But as soon as we thought it was going to be him, Rocco Connie had 112 yards, just a little bit less, but 2 touchdowns. In all-purpose yards, it's a tad bit more. He had a 7 and a 3-yard reception. But with rushing yards for Rocco Connie, 112 yards, 2 touchdowns. Kid was just effective. At the end of the first quarter, we thought it was just going to be, they're going to run the clock out. No, they're going to give the ball to Rocco Connie. He's going to score a touchdown. What any team dreams of doing, that's a dream example of running the clock out. Right? Rocco Connie, he had a heck of a game. And that's our player of the week there. Kid was just unstoppable, and he was just a force of nature out there running the ball today.
Yeah, both Conti, Kandow, great candidates, put up excellent performances, but there you have it, Rocco Conti, the Back Attack Snacks player of the game for the Keon Sports High School Football Game of the Week here on YouTube. So congratulations to Conti. Congratulations to the Bulldogs for getting the win. Again, like I had talked about, both these teams be back out on the gridiron this next Friday. Again, you and I will be back on the call. We'll also have Brandon Soder back joining the 3-man broadcast crew next week. I want to give a shout out again to Darian Jackson. Has done a great job with us here the last 2 weeks. Again, manning the camera, helping out with the halftime show. Happy to have Darian joining. And Dom, great to have you back here once again. Last thing before we go as well, an update on the Silver Rail rivalry. We were talking about that. Wanted to give any updates that we had from Avon Lake. Yeah,
so Avon Lake ended up responding to a Caffey touchdown beginning of the second half. 21-21 with a little under 8 minutes left in the game. It was a 98-yard touchdown return. No video, but that's all we got from the Avon account. Make sure to follow that. That's an exciting one. Vince McKee's there.
Absolutely, and make sure to check out Vince's story on KeonSports.com, as well as every story that is up on all the 20-plus games that are being covered around the area by our wonderful staff here at Keon Sports. So again, KeonSports.com. And as you wrap up here on watching this YouTube video, make sure before you leave YouTube, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. Again, help us continue to grow our coverage around the area. We appreciate everybody for watching and listening. For Week 4, myself, Cole McDaniel, Dom Clary, Darian Jackson as well. That will do it for us. Everybody, enjoy the weekend and have a safe and great upcoming week as well.